If you have an iPhone and use Spotify for your music needs, you would also get this message if you try to upgrade to premium or change your plan in the app. It says that you can't change your subscription through the app, though they don't mention it here. You basically have to log on to their website and upgrade if you want to do that. Well, the reason behind this is the huge fight that Spotify has been having with Apple over its App Store policies. And it seems that Spotify is going to win this case, and Apple is going to be charged a whopping £500 million. That's right, according to reports, Apple is facing this huge fine from the EU over curbs on accessing music streaming services. This whole issue is basically linked to how Apple charges apps using its platform, that is the App Store. Companies whose services are delivered through iPhone apps have actually been complaining for years. Let's take a look at what this whole issue is all about. So in 2019, Spotify made a formal complaint to EU regulators saying that Apple was essentially preventing choice for consumers and it was trying to scuttle competition in its App Store by charging a 30% fee on all purchases. Basically, they said that Apple was imposing a 30% tax on competitors like Spotify when users pay within the app itself. These charges are leveled on those who offer services similar to what Apple does, like Apple has Apple Music. Due to this, Spotify says they are unable to offer users cheaper subscriptions and perks. Not just that, Spotify also said that Apple was stopping them from informing customers on the app that they could avoid the commission and get a better deal if they would only sign up on Spotify's website. And that is basically why they don't mention it in the app as well. Now, Apple says that this fees is justified because it spends heavily on providing a secure app store, and of course, even Spotify gets access to millions of customers who have iPhones or iPads through App Store. But Spotify says that since Apple Music doesn't face these extra costs, it gives it an advantage, and hence the imposition of this fees is anti-competitive. The EU formally charged Apple in the anti-competitive probe in 2021.
Is that Apple abused its dominant position for the distribution of music streaming apps through its App Store and distorted competition in the music streaming markets.
Now, this comes at a time when Apple and other big tech companies like Google are facing increasing scrutiny over competition concerns. In fact, Google lost a US court battle against video game maker Fortnite in December 2023, in which the jury said that Google is operating an illegal monopoly on payments. Apple and Google earn an estimated $500 billion a year from their App Store economies. But now countries have started cracking down on this monopoly. Japan is working on a new regulation through which Google and Apple will have to let people download apps from outside their official stores. They also want the two companies to stop giving their own apps preferential treatment and allow third-party payment services to access the app stores. This is to give developers more payment options and avoid hefty commissions. South Korea and Netherlands have also imposed similar restrictions before. And Apple, in fact, is also bowing down to EU's new laws, and they've said that they will allow EU customers to download apps without going through the App Store. If the EU slaps this £500 million fine, it will reignite the war between EU and big tech at a time when companies like Apple, Google, and Amazon are being forced to prove that they are complying with the rules aimed at opening competition and allowing small tech rivals to compete fairly.